All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge, probably one of the biggest events in the tech world this year, the launch of OpenAI's GPT-5. It's been over 2 years, and finally, the next generation of ChatGPT is here. And boy, is it promising a revolution. So, the big questions are, what's actually new? What can this thing really do? And, what's it going to mean for all of us? Let's peel back the layers and see what's inside.
You really have to start right here with this quote from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. I mean, talk about a bold claim. This just sets the stage perfectly. He's not saying, hey, GPT-5 is a little bit better. No, he's saying the jump is so massive that going back to the old one, the one we all thought was, revolutionary, is now miserable. So, is that just marketing hype? Or is there really something to it?
Okay, let's get past all the headlines. Because what's happening here with GPT-5, it's not just another update. It's really a fundamental shift in how the AI is built, and more importantly, how we're supposed to use it.
Yeah, think about it. It's been more than 2 years since the last major release. So, of course, expectations are through the roof. When you see a new number like this, a 5 instead of a 4-point-something, it's a signal from OpenAI that they think this is a huge leap forward, not just a small step. We're talking a big jump in both smarts and speed. So probably the single biggest change under the hood is what they're calling the unified model. Remember that confusing list of different GPTs you had to choose from for different jobs? Well, that's gone. Now it's just one single interface. It basically acts like a smart traffic cop. You give it a prompt, and it figures out where to send it, to the fastest engine for a simple task, or the most powerful one for some really deep, complex thinking. It all happens automatically.
So what are they actually promising with this new model? Well, the claims are pretty bold. On one hand, you've got this massive boost in pure intelligence. They're talking PhD-level expertise, with 45% fewer factual mistakes. That's huge. But then there's a change in its personality. It's supposed to be faster, write more naturally, and be less of that, effusively agreeable yes man. And maybe the biggest deal of all this power is now available to everyone, even if you're on the free plan.
Okay, all those promises sound amazing, right? But the real question, the one that actually matters, is how does it hold up in the real world? Let's peel back another layer of this onion and really look at its performance. So forget the marketing for a second. Let's talk about where the rubber meets the road. What can you actually do with GPT-5 that was, really hard or maybe even impossible just a little while ago? Let's check out a hands-on test somebody did. They asked the old GPT-4o to code a game of Tetris. And yeah, it made a version that worked, but it was super basic. Then, they gave the exact same prompt to GPT-5. The result, I'm quoting here, worlds apart. Without even being asked, GPT-5 added a score, it added levels, it even added that little display that shows you the next piece coming up. All the stuff a real developer would add to make it a good game. That shows this incredible leap in understanding what you really want.
And look, this isn't just about making fun little games. In a professional setting, the performance is just as mind-blowing. Take the Kodo PR benchmark. This thing tests how well an AI can review actual, real-world code from programmers. GPT-5 scores a 72.2, which puts it ahead of its biggest rivals. It's just plain better at spotting critical bugs and suggesting clean fixes. And that's exactly what developers are looking for. And this kind of powerful reasoning has massive implications, especially in really specialized fields. Like, take law. A review in a publication called Artificial Lawyer said GPT-5 is a more trustworthy analyst. And that's huge, right? Because when you're drafting a legal contract or analyzing a memo, you need accuracy. It's absolutely non-negotiable. That lower error rate is a game changer. Okay, so we've seen what it can do. It's powerful. But the next layer we have to peel back. This one reveals the staggering, hidden costs behind making this whole revolution happen. First up, let's talk about the data. GPT-5 was apparently trained on an estimated, get this, 70 trillion tokens. That's just a mind-boggling number. But what's really fascinating is what that data is made of. It seems like we've pretty much scraped all the useful parts of the public internet. So now a massive 45% of the new training data is estimated to be synthetic.
That's data made by other AIs. It's a totally different way of building these things.
And to chew through all that data, you need an unbelievable amount of power. The computers used to train GPT-5 are estimated to use 122 megawatts of electricity. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that's more juice than 10% of what the entire Hoover Dam produces. All of that energy just focused on training one single AI. Wow.
So here's the really crucial point. Just look at the scale of this jump. Training the last model, GPT-4, took something like 25,000 GPUs. For GPT-5, that number is estimated to have quadrupled to around 100,000 GPUs. This isn't just, scaling things up a bit. This is a massive, massive escalation in how much computer power is needed. And this insane energy consumption is becoming a real challenge for the whole industry sustainability. I mean, it's just not sustainable. Experts are basically screaming for new, more energy-efficient tech to keep up. There are some promising ideas out there, like these optical circuit switches that could maybe cut network power use by almost 80%. But honestly, the industry has a really long way to go on this front.
All this tech is one thing, right? But what about how it feels to actually use it? Let's get to the core of it, the human response. Because people are, well, they're pretty divided on this new tool.
On one side, you've got people who are just completely in awe. This one comment from a user on Reddit really captures it perfectly. They said, "It's the first time I have thought to myself, this thing exceeds my intelligence." Wow. That's the feeling, right? That sense of talking to something that feels genuinely smarter than you are. For a lot of folks, this is the leap they've been waiting for. But then, you have the other side of the coin. There's a lot of frustration. See, when OpenAI launched this new unified model, they also took away direct access to the older versions, like GPT-4o. And this user's comment really nails a common feeling out there. I just wish they'd give the option to choose. Why not just let people stick with the tools they already know and love? And this really gets to the heart of why people are so divided. OpenAI says the new model is less effusively agreeable, right? But for users like this person, that change just feels like a loss. They actually miss the warm and real personality of the old one. They find GPT-5 to be kind of bland, superficial even. It feels less like a creative partner and more like, well, just a tool. So the final verdict from the community? It's complicated. For a lot of tasks, look, GPT-5 is undeniably a better tool. It's more accurate, it's a better coder, it's more reliable. But for so many users, it's also kind of a lost friend. This upgrade came at a price, the price of a personality they'd really grown attached to. And that just raises all these fascinating questions about what a relationship with AI is even supposed to be.
All right, let's peel back that final layer. What does this all mean? What does it all add up to? What are the really big implications of having a tool this powerful, just out there, available for everyone?
Even as Sam Altman is singing its praises, he's also really clear about one thing. He says GPT-5 is a huge step on the road to artificial general intelligence, AGI. But we are definitely not there yet. And a big reason why is that the model still isn't learning continuously. It doesn't learn from talking to you. It's an incredibly powerful snapshot in time, but it's not a constantly evolving intelligence. Still, the implications are just profound. I mean, with the ability to create complex software almost instantly, a tool like GPT-5 is set to completely change how we create things, how we learn, how we work together. This is a tool that could totally transform knowledge work and just blow the doors open on what a single person is capable of building. And that brings us to the final, really provocative thought here. It's a question from Sam Altman himself. He says, "A kid born today will never be smarter than AI." Just let that sink in. If that's true, how in the world do we prepare the next generation for a future where their tools are literally smarter than they are? It's a deep, deep question, and it perfectly sums up the incredible and maybe slightly unsettling future that we are all stepping into right now. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.